Welcome to Top Chef Material. We have another conversation today, very interesting one. Just to remind you, Top Chef Material is a platform for storytelling, now sharing experiences, authentic stories. So we have Top Chef Stories, we have Top Chef Talks, we have Top Chef Radio. Every Thursday we are out on radio in the evening from 8 to 9 p.m. We talk about life, building homes. And today we have a guest. I'm going to introduce him in a bit. From Langa, we're from the same township in the Western Cape. We went to the same high school, but at the same time, because no gray hair. We're here. Lwa, who's it?
I'm good, and you know?
Sure. Grand. It's been a very long time now.
It's been a while since we last saw each other.
But the internet keeps the world very small.
It's connected, even though we don't see each other that much.
So I'm sure you've seen my story a few times where I'm sharing my journey to my recovery. It's one of those things. I made a decision that I'm going to put it out there. Be naked. Maybe 1, 2 people will have a story and courage to share their own, and they can come forward and we can have these conversations and other conversations, not necessarily about other personal experiences, but perspectives about life. So otherwise,
for me, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. First and foremost, my name is Lwandile. From Cape Town, KwaLanga. Of course, I am junior Dalia. Even though when I went to high school, he was already out in high school, but he had a lot of influence during the time that I was in high school. Hence, we were connected, and even our deep house. So that's where we were also connected as well. So man, the reason why I reached out to you, looking at your journey, looking at your stories, especially with your show on radio, I was I got interested with how brave you are putting your story out there and sharing your recovery and the conversations that you have with these people on the talk shows. I was like, I want to be part of that.
Sure.
Because I also feel like I have a story to tell.
Sure.
We're
gonna get to it. We're all for stories.
Yeah. So that's why I basically reach out to you.
Okay. So from Kwalanga, growing up, you went to primary school at Tembani, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Your high school was a very high performance school, science and math school.
Yes.
The expectations of having been to LEAP, the expectations of having been to Tembani, role models. So tell us, how was it like, growing up? Just before you finished high school.
Okay. Well, I grew up in a home where there was a lot of siblings. Grew up from a big family. So I was
how big?
There's 13 of us, but as siblings, my brothers and sisters, there's 5 of us. So with my cousins and everyone, there's 13 of us living in the same house.
Okay.
So I was always protected, and also I was the younger cute one. So and when I went to primary school, I loved maths and I excelled in it and physics as well. So my mother picked that up, and she kind of motivated me to make sure that I always pass with good grades.
Okay.
So part of my family also, they saw that and were okay, you might be the breakthrough for your family and stuff like that. So I did well in primary school, and of course in my last year got awards, and moved from there, got an opportunity to be part of the Lip Science and Med School.
Okay.
So that's when my team started. Of course, as a young boy, I was doing everything that young boys were doing.
Okay.
Street game. Street game. I was also active in sports as well, because I liked cricket and soccer as well. Not much of it because I was I had the physique, but I was so scared to get hurt. But moving into Lip Science and Med School in 2007, I think I was about 13 or 14 at that time. So I got introduced to live with Usemi.
Oh, Usemi Tumba.
Yes, he was doing after
those
afternoon classes.
Those afternoon classes at the primary schools.
Yes.
I actually did 207. I was actually running the programs. Tembani Primary School, Siabulela. What is the other one? Name for memory. Moshesh.
Yeah.
So I was leading that program.
Okay.
But I started off at Siabulela. Which was my primary school.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't recall doing this mass at all. But So
man, the transition to go into high school, I didn't feel any anxiety there because Semi was always there to like give us support, give us confidence that you guys have got this.
Because he's the one who would have recruited you from.
Yes. Okay. So going into high school, did well my first year. My mother was proud. You know, they were like, okay, everything that I need, my support and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it.
Lucky.
You know? Everything was good up until the end of grade 10. That's when my teen year started to, pop
it's
out.
now 15
going into 16, So I started being naughty like a boy, not really in like crime or anything, but you know, as a boy you get into trouble for like, girls, speaking behind the back of like teachers and stuff like that,
not tucking your shirt
in, wanting to look wanting to change your uniform and not being formal and stuff like that. So I was always being called out for such small things and stuff like that. But the expectation from back home was always there that we want you to do well in order for you to become like the person who's gonna make changes into this household. I didn't feel that until I actually got to like grade 12. So when I got to grade 12, my mom tried to move me around to an environment where it was quiet for me, and then I was able to like blossom and have like good grades to go into a good university. Because I remember back in grade 11, I had an amazing report at the end of the year that I wanted to apply in UCT, and they were kind of like, okay, if you pass your final on matric, then you can come to whatever you want to do. But a lot of things happened during that year, and I lost my focus. But at the end, I did pass my grade 12, but not as I wanted, according to my capabilities and stuff like that. But I moved from there, and I was able to, of course, pass. Even though my mom was not really happy, but she was happy that at least
you made it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. So back in those years, primary school, high school, did you have anyone to look up to who was inspirational?
Look, to be quite frank with you, my father passed away, I think 2 years after I was born. So I've dealt with that. I'm kind of good about it for now, but that played a huge role into my life. And my mother was always making sure that if there's someone in the neighborhood who's older than me and they always see me with that person, my mom would always go and speak to that person. Make sure he behaves good, just talk to him, make sure he's not around people who are negative and stuff like that. So she's always been trying to get me like a role model.
Intentionally doing so.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
Because she knew that she can do so much as a mother, but she can't do anything when it comes to having like a father figure in the household. So I was very close with my uncles, I was very close with my older brothers, but of course it kind of felt like there is a little bit of a void because it's not there. But my mom always told me stories about him, even his friends, family, they always told me good stories, So apparently they turned him back.
Okay. Yeah.
And also my dad, he liked to look smart, man. So I was like, okay, there is something that I kind of inherited from him. Even though I look like my mom a lot, but moving forward with that, I've been having an issue with having someone to look up to.
Okay.
Because every time I look up to someone, there's tend to be a little bit of a disappointment.
But growing up, then what did you want to be? Before you got to grade 12.
Okay.
Like, for example, I wanted to be a traffic cop at school. Then I was in primary school, I was like, it sounds like a cool job. Like, you can just drive this car.
Yeah.
Yeah, uniform, do you park it wherever you hide when you want? Yeah.
Look, I'm not telling you lies. Back in primary school, I wanted to be an astronaut. Back in primary school, I really wanted to be an astronaut. And then when I actually was in high school, I was like, you know what? I want to be an engineer. Like, okay, I want to be an engineer.
Now you knew a bit more about it.
I knew a little bit more about it, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, civil engineering is something that I really want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of worked towards it, but then, life happened for me.
Yeah. So what did you think, like, having reached your goals or your dreams coming true was going to make you feel like?
To be quite frank with you, Putin, I don't know how would that feel like if I had put my best forward, my best foot forward, and just went on and achieved everything that I aspired for. I don't know how would I feel. I don't know what kind of a character I would be. But Gogo, I feel like there's a lot of character in me, and I still feel like there's a lot that I have achieved, and my future is still looking bright. Because I have connections more than before. There's a lot, man, that I'm doing in my life right now that I make sure that the next 5 years I'm gonna be there.
Okay. So back in high school, where life foundation was central to education, difficult conversations were encouraged, and then you pass the grade 12, you go to Stellenbosch.
Sure.
Now you're coming from KwaLanga, an old township that's got its own sort of norms.
Yeah.
You go to a new place, new territory. Stellenbosch is also known for its own norms.
Yeah.
So how was the transition like for you, coming from such background, KwaLanga, and you know that part of Langa where you're from?
Yeah.
And just for context, so Langa is one of those townships, and I don't know if there are other townships that are like Langa, that are segregated. So KwaLanga, you've got a part of Langa that is what is called Amakotuka, right? Which refers to people who are coming from the Eastern Cape, who are still going home. That's Kotuka, to go home. And then you get people who no longer going that home, but who have three generations have decided that, this is our home.
Yeah.
Then between those two, then you get another part, which is Ekasi, your Harlems, Now you get these three sections of Langa that are segregated, where different people look towards others differently. Like, you are from Eastern Cape, you are from Eastern Cape, but you're no longer going to Eastern Cape. And then you get the others who are like, no, we are the Capeans, we deserve it all.
Yeah.
So coming from that typical environment, Stellenbosch, so how was it?
I'm not gonna lie. For me, the transition was very. It was not very tough. It was okay, but there's a lot of complexity within that, because I come from a home where a conversation is not encouraged.
Sure.
I come from a home where right is right, wrong is wrong. There's no reasoning, or there's no opportunity for you to get a reason why there's something not right or stuff like that. So for me, like, I feel like LIP Science and Med School has like set up an amazing foundation for me, so that I am able to identify where I come from. And then I got this foundation where I have been taught how to have a conversation. And during that time I was in LIP, I'm not gonna lie, I was not really passionate about having those conversations. I was having them, but I was still...
You're still young.
But as I moved to a new environment right now, where I felt like, this is something different than where I'm used to. So I had to adjust. I had to look at the people. I had to change how I speak, change how I do things. So Leap then came in with where you are able to take accountability, have a conversation, speak from the heart, and also think about the decision you're about to take and stuff like that. So it made a lot of difference going into like university for me.
Okay, so let's dive into your experience.
Yeah.
How was it?
Okay.
What happened? The stories.
Yo.
Okay. Because stories of people from Stellenbosch. I have a friend also who went to Stellenbosch from Langa.
Yeah.
So those stories are interesting to me.
For me, we were in the Moses May campus where we were doing agriculture because I was doing agriculture there. So every time it's like the first semester, there's like a lot of people, you know, in the lecture room, and then after that, after the first exams, cuts down. But the thing is, a lot of things said in Afrikaans.
So the medium of instruction was still Afrikaans.
Yeah. Okay. We had textbooks where, of course, were English, but we felt like the most of the information that was being given in English is like a summary of the entire lecture. But we passed.
Sure.
Because I was blessed because I can understand a little bit of Afrikaans because my grandmother came from Kimberley, so she spoke Afrikaans in Tswana. Of course, I was not the greatest. So everyone else at home can speak more Afrikaans, but my Afrikaans is very swag, but I can understand. And some of the guys that I used to like affiliate myself with, they came from the likes of Franshoek, where they are able and they are exposed to Afrikaans. And some of them came from Kulanov and so forth and so forth.
So you had built yourself that
a circle of people that I can just go with them, speak with them, share knowledge and stuff like that. So and the tradition there is very different, because I remember we went to there's like a Thursday night at Dolly's during that time. There's a bar called Dolly's, so you have to wear like a tie.
Okay.
So they're very strong on like ties, being formal, and that time we just wanted to like look like kids, you know. So I appreciated the kind of culture that they showed us. We were narrow-minded at first because we're like, we're not used to this. We don't know what's a hacker, you know. And then we got to learn. Okay, this is not really something to segregate people. This is something to bring students together, to have a sort of unity, to have like a sort of, I'd say, or like a solidarity within the campus itself, so that when they go and play rugby and we go and play soccer, everyone, you know, we sing the same song.
Sure.
So eventually I got to gradually learn that, and then it eventually just started sinking in.
So initially you had some idea of what it was.
Yeah.
Then you started adjusting.
Yeah.
And how is adjustment like for you? I mean,
at first,
did you come from a rigid home where culture is rigid, this is the tradition, this is how we do things, or it's always been flexible?
Yeah. Okay. For me, Natalia, like, I come from a home where it's very strict, but not too strict, but there is a little bit of room for something different. But a lot of people in my family, they are strong-willed on what our mother, our grandfather did has to be done this way, you know. And for me, I was grateful and I was fortunate enough to go out of that circle.
Okay.
Go out of that sense of belief and experience life differently from outside my comfort zone. So I was able to push myself, you know, if I'm going to survive here, I need to so I needed to change my mind, this big empire, and then things gradually started working out for me. But when I came back, I've learned something, Payana, but when I tried to implement it, there's a bit of a clash.
And then what did you do in such situations? Because now you are bringing another tradition and there's a tradition here, and they know that you know. So, and that integration now.
Oh, you know.
And you're the youngest, right?
Yeah. The thing is, that when you have family which is older than you, and then when you do something, you want to have reasoning for it.
Sure.
And then in some instances, I burst out because I'm not being listened.
Yeah, frustrated.
No one is listening to what I'm saying. They're just looking at why is Uteta Nomdom. You understand? So I was like, okay, man, let me take a step back. Oh, and then I was taught different that you have a conversation. They didn't have the luxury and they didn't have the opportunity to hlala phansi masincokole yintoni ingxaki yakho.
Do you think that's interesting because now you're not as young as you were, right? Yeah. And the people who were the older, we are now in their age group. That time. So now you're not as young. You can probably have those conversations. Maybe now they can listen to you.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see like how we integrate different experiences into the old experiences, new experiences to the old ones, and see how they change us and how they may change other people. Because an experience, it's risky to experience anything, right? Because it can change who you are, how you perceive the world. And now when you're going intentionally to change them, it's different. Because when you joined Stellenbosch, there was no intention of wanting to change. Right? You were just going there to learn. Then it happened, maybe by accident, that okay, it's part of integrating. But now you're going back home and you've got this intention that I have a better idea. But man, when so how do you sort of encourage such now when hey, I'm young, I've got a better idea about the old thing. I used to see it this way, now I see it this way.
Yeah.
You know,
For me, Putin, it's I feel like my generation, like I feel like the people within my age and older, the only way we can make a change is to do things differently so that whoever comes from behind will see a reflection that we do. I'm speaking from a place where I know I'm not perfect. I have a lot of mistakes and I'm brave enough to take accountability for those mistakes.
Sure.
You know, and sometimes I tend to feel a little bit stubborn because why would I take accountability but you don't want to take it?
You don't take it.
So that's who I am, man. But I feel like it's important that whatever we do around the younger the younger kids in the family, it affects them and whoever comes after them. So it's really like I can't do anything to change whoever is in my family who's in my age moving forward. The only thing I can do now, I'm learning to accept who they are, the way they are. And then I'm hoping they can also accept who I am, the way I am, so that sizokwazi if you are raised and stuff like that. So I'm teaching myself izinto you know, so that in every situation, that apho khona kukho disagreement, akufunekanga like bekho abantwana abazochaphazeleka, because they learn how to speak from Tina,
the things you do,
they learn how to act according to their actions, and most of the time because I'm so focused on being Lwandile and just doing my stuff, not knowing but I'm influencing others.
But it can be a lot of pressure, but I suppose it makes us more intentional about things we do, because like the saying that mangi see, mangi do. You know? So kids don't learn from the things you say or tell them, they learn from the things you do.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked the question earlier about people that you may have looked up to. Because I always wonder sometimes if there's anyone looking after me. Because I can always change my mind. And it's very, very dangerous and it's wrong to idolize anyone. And it's not good for the people who are being idolized. And it's not good for the people who are idolizing others. And I've seen shortcomings of idolizing people like, I want to be like this person. And then you learn another aspect of that person and then you feel disappointed.
Yeah, well, can I step in?
Yeah.
Okay, one person that I really respect, that I don't tell him this, I always look up to how he conducts himself as a man, as a brother, as like a family man. He's my brother.
Sure.
So,
and he doesn't know this thing.
No, he doesn't.
He needs to know. He must watch the show.
The thing is, I had a lot of fallouts with him. And in all of those fallouts, he hasn't given up in me and my other brother. But he's always like wanting to fight to make sure money rights.
Sure.
Because for him, at an early age, he had to go and work, and for him, it felt like he had to take care of the family. And for me, deep down, I feel like he sacrificed whatever his dreams were just for my
can go through.
And I feel like sometimes he thinks we take that for granted because of whatever is going on within the family and stuff like that. But I felt like I don't want to be like him to sacrifice my dreams,
Sure.
to take care of my family. Because I know who I am, like in Pileramna, like I know who myself is. So I admire what he has done. Because if he didn't do it, then he couldn't go. You understand? So I admire what he does. I really love what he does to take care of his family and stuff like that. But for him now, I think a lot of expectation has been to provide, to do that. But I'm still, like, I only am getting to know myself in the last 3 years. But okay, this is what I want to do. This is my direction. And I'm not going to stop at anything just to make sure I get the money for them.
I suppose what you're saying about not wanting to sacrifice anyone for anyone comes from a point of caring, like wanting to break the chain of, because then it becomes a chain where you sacrifice and the next person also sacrifice for another generation. So it's not coming from the point of saying, I don't like them, so I don't want to sacrifice, or they are not worth the sacrifice. But you don't want to get to that point where you need to sacrifice. So it would be better if you get your stuff together, they get their stuff together, and nobody has to sacrifice to that extent where they lose their own dreams and they give them up for the next person. Because then it can be a burden, because then, like, I can imagine the typical conversation where, like, have you experienced a situation where you felt like you needed to say yes when you should have said no, because at the back of your mind you were thinking, he's sacrificed.
It happens.
It happens, yeah.
It happens.
So I can imagine those things can be difficult. I mean, it's common from other families, especially big families. And we talked about this on the radio about like what is now labeled as black tax, for example, where some people had given up their dreams to support their younger siblings or cousins, and then later there's an expectation, or there's not expectation, but one thinks there is one, and then they start sacrificing automatically because you misunderstood.
Man, I think I would like to have a conversation with him sometime soon. Just to also make him understand that, look, whatever you've done for us, I'm grateful. But don't feel like we don't notice. Also, if he still has, like, for me now, what I'm hearing, he's studying at the moment while he's working. I'm proud of that, because now he's pushing me towards, I think I can also do the same thing. Because I have some goals that I need to sort. achieve in the next future, which is I kind of like love what he's doing now because he's not focused on just providing.
Yeah, he's about himself too.
Exactly.
Like you were saying that you now know yourself.
Yeah.
Over the past few years, which we're gonna get into now.
Yeah.
And you are about yourself now.
Yeah.
It's a new year. And you mentioned something about acceptance earlier. The importance. Why do you think it's important for people to be accepted for who they are, and for you to be accepted too?
Yeah, for me, I feel like to be quite important. Like for me, in my family, especially, to have peace, you have to accept a lot of things.
Okay.
But you still need to be brave enough to speak out.
Okay.
When you don't want something, or you know, or when there's a challenge, you know, you need to be brave enough to be that person who sit down and have a conversation, you know, so that you can grow from that. Whether it's negative, the outcome, or the outcome is positive, you gain something from it.
So it's not like passive acceptance. No. It's acceptance with outcomes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you always have to learn something about, you know, people. So yeah. So like I'm saying, also just to add on it, is that I'm different from most of my siblings.
Sure.
I grew up in a different era. I grew up in a era where beliefs are challenged, where a lot of things are different. So I'm more of what's the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a generation is not the sound, man.
Yeah.
So how old is your mom?
My mom, bless her soul, she should have been 70 this year. Yeah.
Okay. So that is around the same age as my mom. My mom passed on when she was like 75, 76.
Okay.
Yeah. So I understand where you're coming from when you say you're that generation who asks why, and that generation is not about that. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about your mom, and I know how close you were.
Yeah.
You've always been, and you've lived some of your dreams according to what you know, how she wanted you to succeed in life.
Yeah.
You know, being passionate about your progress from a very early age, and creating those structures for you to ensure that you have people to look up to, and that those people were credible enough, you know, for her to allow you to associate with them. So, okay, I trusted them. So there's an element of trust that has always been there from her side, an element of wanting the best out of you, and an element of understanding your potential, and an element of making you know that she knows that you have the potential, and you just need to keep unleashing that. And you've done it for the most part of your life. So tell us about the experience growing up with your mom, in front of your mom, and her, you know, passing on, may her soul rest in peace. And how was your life before, and how has it been after?
Sure.
Yeah.
Bro, this is one conversation that, I'm not gonna lie, I usually like talk about her almost every time. Because when I was growing up, I was like, I'm a mama's boy first and foremost. So from all of my siblings, they were like, yo, okay, I'm trying to Lwandile. Okay. And now I'm like, that's so going to figure it out. Because I was part, like, I used to go to my mom's, my mom was a domestic worker. So I used to go to her work, sleepovers and stuff. So, like, most of my other siblings didn't get to experience it. But growing up with the mama, like, when I was young, she was doing everything for us. And then, when I was starting to get notes back in primary school, every time she had a story, because my mom was very vocal, man. My mom would shout,
Okay.
Yeah, when you know you did something wrong, like even if you're a neighbor, you did something wrong last week, and then you're, hey, Mom Charlie, and she'll be like, yeah, she's reminding you, so she was always like that, tough, strict, and she was very loving at times, man, because my mom taught us how to be independent as boys from an early age. When she goes to work, she made sure, but because we were moving around so much because of family dynamics, and so
where was this?
In Langa. So Iqalonga is Ikhabe, which is by Barracks.
Yes.
So when she came back from work, she made sure homework and she wanted to make sure to clean, which is my older brother and stuff like that. So everything, man, she was like, from an early age, she taught us how to cook. Especially when she taught me a lot of things when it comes to English, because I love to cook.
Do you still love to cook?
Yeah, I still do. So, she wanted to make sure, man, if anything happens to her, she has done all that she can for us.
Equipped you
with all
at
the
least
skills.
well enough. Yeah.
But now, I won't lie. Until I started shit, I was like,
Something call out.
And she was shout, but as she's shouting, she got tired of like spanking me, and then she was like, she would shout, no, and then she got tired and she just do it for me and stuff like that. And eventually she bought a washing machine because I'm not gonna try, I was doing. So she was kind of like, she spoiled us in a very good way, but she was like, if you do well in life, you get rewarded for it. You know? Yeah.
So now, when she passes on, how old are you?
30.
Oh, so you've already been through high school.
Yeah.
And so all these years, she's saying like, my teachings, I can see.
Yeah.
Did you stay at Ras?
I did, but then when I dropped out, I had to move back home.
Okay, because I was going to ask about the cooking now.
I know. You see, that part we didn't mind a lot because we had like, it's different from the other areas, man. It's like there's a dorm, like where you go and like there's a buffet. You eat your breakfast, your lunch, and of course your dinner.
Okay.
But if you wanted something more, you can always go to the shop and get something, So that was very nice for us at that time. So I didn't get to experience other stories.
So now she passes on. You're very close.
Yeah.
So how does it make you feel now? Look, that time.
My mom started getting sick, I think in 2021. That's when she started getting sick very bad. That's after Gaza, so like.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's when she started getting sick because I was working for a call center in Waterfront at that time. So every time I used to get a call, yo, mama, and then it's like 3 a.m. in the morning, and then eventually I made a decision. I think around about November that year, I was like, you know what? I think it's best that I just stay and just look after her.
Okay.
I didn't decide with my brothers or anything. I just spoke to one of my managers at the time, and they agreed to give me like time off for like a month or so. And I looked after her. The painful thing is that my mother was slowly giving up.
And you could see this.
You can't bear the pain of seeing someone who's strong in your life, and then eventually they change and just gradually like speak things like, oh, those kind of things, but she's saying those things in her mind to prepare us. She got COVID in December, I think, and then she stayed in Brackengate, and she came back, and she was like okay now, and because she had diabetes and high blood, and then her legs were not swollen anymore. She could take a walk. I was like, okay, there's hope. She's like recovering back. So taking her to clinics and checkups and stuff like that. And then it got very bad to a point where like she started giving up after an incident that happened at home.
Okay.
And then she was like, she's fed up in a way. And
Yes.
for some point, I feel like I blame myself for what happened.
Mm.
But I can't blame myself that much, man, because my mom
because
was
of some events that happened around.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think my mom was very tired of everything that was happening. You know, because I used to stay with her, and pay breakfast.
And how was that experience like?
Yeah, it's unzima, man, as a man to like voice it out. But it's I'm Nanda.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it feels like every time you figure out more, like imagine there's something that's heavy on that, like nothing going with and then I'd force myself, like maybe nothing, like I'd force myself, like
to start yourself from
yeah.
that feeling tone.
Yeah. And then when she passed on, I didn't know at the time, I didn't know what grief was, because I was close to guys, but not as close as my mom. So that's when I started grieving. And then Zange was
okay, before we go there, your brother passes on, man.
Yeah.
A few years later, 2 years later?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, then mom passes on.
Yeah.
Do you think you had enough time to grieve for
I don't think so.
guys? Yeah.
Then,
do you think you were even aware that it should have happened?
The thing is, Ugas na why go and in a way ending why like So I was like, why am I kind of burdened with the wage? Like, because I used to work night shift to go here, guys, like and do breakfast, some clinic and stuff like that, And then now my mom got in there, so it kind of like
too close. It's
too
the time
close,
to just breathe.
It was not there.
Yeah,
it was not there.
Yeah, I can imagine how heavy that like from that time until now. Because I'm sure you're still feeling some type of way.
Yeah, for both of them.
Yeah, because now, mom also was affected by the passing of the guys, right? And now she was affected, and then now you are also affected by her passing. You still have those intense feelings for brother's loss, then now mom's loss. So, and you still have your life to live.
Yeah.
And do you think, how was it like people coming to you, giving you word, hey, people to support you? How was it like?
I'm not gonna lie. I had a few good people in my life during those difficult times that they came out for me. If you know Nokolo Folok, her and the family.
Okay.
Yeah, they were there for me.
So,
excuse me. In both of these encounters, they were there for me. And then my friend, Bulong, my best friend, was always there for me. And some other people, of course, the family and friends, they were always there for me. And feel like sometimes, like imagine like people don't know what to do. I'm just grateful that they were just there.
Okay, not doing anything, not expecting you to do anything, to be in.
Because they didn't know what to say. They didn't know. They haven't gone.
Super sensitive. Yeah. So
they
just let you be.
Yeah.
And did you appreciate that, or you would have preferred somebody else?
Cool. Because if they weren't there, I don't think I would be here now.
Yeah.
And to a point where I felt like everyone else in the family is dealing with Uka's death differently and my mom's death quite differently or better than I am.
In what sense?
It's like I'm falling apart through all of this. But when I look at them,
it seems like they were holding it together.
Yeah. And then I felt like, I'm falling apart.
But this was internal, right?
That's what like those were my thoughts inside. I didn't know how they felt. I couldn't even have a conversation now when Babu was. No one wanted to speak of like how heavy it meant or how hurtful and
as if it was not necessary because they were okay.
Yeah, well, that's my assumption, and I take responsibility now because I think I might have done izinto yabo to at that time I didn't know, but to hurt them, to make them feel like
I wanna be heard, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, and it's better than
but you are about yeah, I see.
And I was selfish in a way now that I see it, because of Comedian, like, they were not only just mine, even though I felt like they meant the world to me, but also abantu that had abantu like my sisters, my Wongaland apparently. You understand? So
you accepted them sort of together. So you accepted now you're sort of forgiving them that okay, that was their way, their own method of.
For me, I think now I feel guilty for not asking them how they felt about the loss.
Sure.
Because I feel like I didn't handle it in a way that they like I broke down kakul, and I used alcohol to a point where I was like, you know what, because I was drinking almost like every weekend, just to forget about things.
Yeah. So you also didn't have the capacity to ask them to take care of yourself sober. You didn't have the bandwidth, so you needed something else to cope with.
That's yes. I needed something like to take away the pain and just forget, and just be happy for like those moments. But I feel like I should have had conversations with them and cry with them if they cry.
Yeah.
Understand? And maybe it might have made things better.
Yeah. But you can't beat yourself too hard.
I know.
That was tolerant because it's only now that you understand life differently. It's now that you have the perspective. You didn't have it back then. At the time, you were living in that moment.
Yeah.
And that is there's a beauty in that too. That you lived in your own moment and you were in touch with your emotions. You understood. You were out. And you cried. You needed a shoulder. Yet it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't know how others perceived you. Maybe they thought you were strong. But they thought maybe you had it together until those moments where it was clear that you're now still using substance, to cope.
Yeah.
But other than that, it remains assumptions, right? But there is a little bit of understanding and compassion around how different people are going to show ikrifiabo. Because services in Angela is different.
Yeah.
Omi umtu does it by being quiet. You left, like we spoke of acceptance earlier. So I'm sure now we're gonna different because we can say as much as you can say I should have, but you also accepted them.
Yeah.
You allowed them to do what they needed to do, You can't beat yourself too hard.
No, the most positive things I've taken out of the entire experience is that it's very important to make peace with yourself. That's what I always do. Like, I try to forgive myself for any mistakes that I've made to disappoint myself. And also, if I wrong the other person, I've learned now to swallow my pride. I know, it's very difficult. But every time I swallow my pride, then, especially when it comes to my cousins and my brothers, I feel very at ease.
Feel free, ne?
I feel like, they're tired of because we make peace, we hug, and then, but It's done, it's dusted, it's the past, let's move. You understand?
Mm.
So I think making peace no Kolo is very important. That's the one thing that I have also taken, because making peace with the fact that my mom is no longer here, no guys, also makes life easier for me to move forward.
But how do you make that peace?
It takes time, I'm not gonna lie, Puti, because the fact you have to first understand. I had to first understand how I feel.
Okay.
And how I feel, the actions that I do, what are they based on? Is it because I lost my mom? Yes. Then the moment I acknowledge that, then okay, you know what? Smooth if it's
sure.
How can I do that? I need to talk to myself.
Yeah.
And then I continue to do what I was doing. And then I do it better. And achieve there, celebrate. Because now I have a new thing now. Ne? Every time I have small wins, I'm no candy there to
so yeah.
I understand?
That gratitude.
Yeah. So for me, that's helping me to move and also accept what I'm about. You know, Mama Geko, but I'm feeling that she's always there. So it's one thing that I'm you know what?
Her presence are there. Even if I get
so because I feel and then about sometimes I feel like ndizowenza into and then bekho nje into ethi mana suyenza you know okanye ithi jonga xesha lapho phakama thetha. You understand? And during that moment in time, it's the perfect execution of my opportunity. You understand? So I feel like she's there.
You know, do you have one of those things that are like some rituals that you have around your life that that always when you practice them, they make you feel strong? For example, see this band.
Yeah.
So Mama used to make this for a living.
Sure.
So, but this one, it was not made by her, but it was one of her works.
Okay.
Somebody, my boy made this one. So before I start my day, on certain days, I would just take my pen and like, let me correct my strength.
Yeah.
Because then I know I'm being intentional. I miss her, and I'm gonna feel better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel strong, and I know maybe I'm expecting a very tough day with my band.
Yeah.
And this is it, you know.
Yeah.
So do you have those kind of things where, because I feel like what you're saying, where you now ground yourself and show gratitude and you think about her like.
Yeah. Look, I am not gonna lie, but I do have that. For example, before my mom passed on, then says begin apparently. Sitting like a man because there's opportunities that I see that are coming. But before I kusuke yonke le nto manje imnyama zizokwenzeka. And then my mom, when the words that she says, wathi nanam ndifuna kuzo zonke izinto zenzayo ebomini kusuke ubumnyama kukhanye. You understand?
Wow.
So when my son is 2 now, so I named him Kukhanye. So I named him after like mom. So now I was planning to do something for my mom, planning to do something for Tula, not because of just the remembrance, just to show gratitude. Because I feel like son.
So I love it.
So I do that. Then a couple of months ago, April, which is on my mom's side,
okay.
So then in CMB, which is similar to Lena Patin Club. So what's up? I've heard
of those ones, yeah.
But I ain't bungozi, but I need some up and umsebenzi wenzeke kahle. Like I think isihloko sabomama sisona
strong.
Yeah. Izinto vele zivuleke so zivuleke. Yeah. So I'm planning to do something again next month, end of the month. I don't think it's just my mom.
KwaLanga.
Yeah, KwaLanga.
So
yeah, nje umphathi nje webhethi yabo ngimcela nje khona lento ngifuna ukwenza la wena enkulu kangoku ngabe ndina ngibe namandla, you know, kwenze lesikwazi ukwenzela, but it's not just me ndedwa no brother bami bakhona.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so Russians are important because I think they've got a way of communicating in ways that we do not cannot have a language for. They go to that subconscious and you know what's important needs to be done.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I get it. So now Umama Keyeko, you are just a young man, your future is bright.
Yeah.
And you did a little bit of grief. Do you think it was you had done enough?
When it comes to grieving, I'm not gonna say for me it's enough. I think I'm still grieving okay now, but I'm doing it better than before.
So
you know, I'm not really focused on using alcohol to depend on grieving. I kind of have people now that I talk to.
Okay.
That some of them have the same situation that I've went through, you know, and then we empower each other, man, through conversations, through talk about our lives, talk about the plans we want to do and stuff like that. So it feels good to have someone else who's went through the same thing that I've gone through, and you know, knowing that I'm not alone.
Sure.
Yeah. So
how important are conversations for you?
I think
I mean, typically from Mikasi, and you know, growing up, and as a young boy, and you know, having to get your voice heard, you know, being the youngest, and it can be frustrating, you know, you're not getting your ideas through. And then we have this society of men having to show that they are strong. And then now we have this crisis of mental health and men collapsing.
Yeah.
And what's your take on that, having been through everything that you've been through?
From now, I feel like being brave enough to talk about something for me talking to you.
Sure.
Like, I can't speak to a woman about being a man because they're not going to understand what it means. But I appreciate anyone who is brave enough to just open up, even if about something small. You know, they might not do it directly by speaking about terms that like mental health or no.
Yeah.
Just mama cheat, I'm fit.
So and the names,
you know, and then from there, out of the blue, see the solution. So I feel like in my lifetime, in my circle, I don't think we're afraid to have conversations.
You don't think we're afraid?
We're afraid. So
okay, not afraid, okay.
So you go on a conversation. It's just that we're not that brave enough to join the conversations because so you if you understand? Like mental health is kind of like taboo with us.
Yeah.
Now we're okay, like we're going through a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Most of the people like Amachita and Wazir, we have complex situations that are different from each other. And then
sure.
But most we just choose to just keep quiet. And then see enjoy but I also want to change this about myself. When I'm thinking I don't want to be the only one who's always say how much you die.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes I need to also learn to listen. Understand? Because someone might say something that I'm also and then I'm busy but I'm not
listening about yourself.
You understand? So I think most of the that I'm around with, they have conversations.
Sure.
You know, they're not afraid to have conversations. They're not afraid to challenge each other intellectually, like decision making.
You're one of the select few
yeah.
who like are fortunate enough to have those cycles of people. Because
yeah, but you
I call to find people with the same kind of frame of thinking, where conversations that are difficult are encouraged. Because speaking of, going back to your point of the acceptance earlier, where I asked why you think it's important to be accepted and to accept others.
Sure.
But now you're making the point on amateur not bringing forth the conversations that are difficult, where it's not a normal thing. And then people keep their ideas to themselves, their own experience to themselves, and they suppress some of these emotions and everything in order to what? My understanding is that in order to be accepted. So that's why I asked that question initially about acceptance, because so now then it comes down to why then people avoid these conversations, because if I have one, then I won't be accepted, or I won't belong, because I'll be the only one who's different. So in order to do that, to be accepted is let me be like others.
I'm not with you. I'm a different kind of breed. Like a lot of people among us, like they know, and I'm not scared to take it.
Yeah.
And I just hope that Kona do that. At least they take like his music right out of longer than when they
Yes.
So there even a question here, because Abanyabandu they will keep quiet and not say anything and not bring anything to like a conversation just because they're accepted by the norm.
Yeah.
But Kumbola, I told you that I'm self-aware of who I am. Yeah, I understand. So I used to have a high standard of what people think about me. Nowadays, I'm thinking swanga. So if Umdo decides not to participate, for the year, it's a loss for themselves because they're saving themselves. If by the conversation, they might be part of something that changes their lives.
Yeah. Because listening is like that.
Because I can't force someone to talk about whatever they're struggling with.
Yeah.
I can challenge you based on your decision yako and make you understand like say
So no, so you're gonna have to wrap it up. So I have a few questions that I wanted to ask you, but we won't get through everything. We need another episode.
We need another one.
So one thing I wanted to ask you to just touch on is recovery, and healing and the aftermath of mama. Because I think in your whole adult life now, I think that's one big event that occurred. Guys, but mama, like your recovery, your healing.
Sure.
Yeah, just two.
Sure. One thing that brings healing to me, like on a daily basis, when I think about Bukani, my son, I put it like developing mom and dad. For me, that's one good thing in my life, a perfect for them.
Nice.
So I think the healing within me started with a purpose, like a purpose. What's my purpose? My purpose is to become a father. Because so I want to do things that I hope my dad would have done. So I'm just patiently waiting for him to grow up to a sense where he's like 5, 6, where I can share my childhood with him and then I can experience childhood. So now before my life,
yeah, sure.
But in the meantime, I'm just working hard to make sure environment is conducive enough. Because when that happens, just in so the purpose, daily motivation, and also like reflecting on everything, whether it's good or bad. Because when you reflect, you are able to say, okay, excuse me, like when you reflect on yourself, you're like, okay, hey, that's really high. And then I know what to avoid, or I know what's going to make me sleeping up here, you know. So recovery is not like, you know,
Sure.
Recovery and healing is like a journey to become better than I yeah. So I think every time the Vulameko, moment and then I wake up. So I'm trying something new now, finding something to do every day.
Okay, intentionally.
Yeah.
A purpose, when I leave a purpose for life.
Yeah.
So are these like big things or just small things that are achievable within a day?
Small wins.
So you're not thinking about digging a gold mine?
Like like nangona zingazubonakala ngoku like imiphumela yazo yabo, but in the long run I might see a difference.
Give us an example.
Every day I wake up, there's push-ups like set 30 seconds.
Okay.
Push-ups for 30 seconds, sit-ups for 30 seconds, and then there's like Zamu for like 30 seconds. But you could be the only said, I'm done for the day, we need it because we're cutting my hands away. So we need to something about at least every day, just so we hands away.
Okay. And do you have Abanyaband who also do the same in the cycle, or like
at the moment
have the same? Okay.
I don't know at the moment.
Okay, because usually like people to hold them accountable. Like, okay, they start posting, and then others would comment and say, oh yeah, it's a post.
For now, I just need to get this discipline for like a good month, like 21 days or 2 months.
Okay.
Even the band like discipline, and I know it's everything like every day. I'm going at least like 3-4 times a week. Then I can go out and say, the busy way soon. And then I will just affiliate with my busy way to motivate and then be accountable for each other.
Why did you start this?
And change has been something that I wanted to do. Like I want a better version of who I am. I have a bit of toxic ever since whatever happened to Mom. I have a bit toxic, and the only way to get rid of that is to wash out the old toxicity.
Okay.
But through positive energy, you understand? So, like, when I end any purpose that's fulfilling for inclusion, that's a positive energy in the air time. You understand?
Okay.
And then, there's a trait to go on. Okay, ngoku ndiyaziyeka yabo andisaboni need
because focus again. We need another episode about because it seems to me there is a lot of things that you learned as a result, and now you are starting new habits as a result, and I'm sure by the time we meet again you're gonna have other things to share about the journey of recovery, healing, which often takes a very long time before one reaches the end, if that is even possible.
For them, I just want to leave like nobody just a word or paragraph.
Yes, that's what we are here for.
Yeah, because these are not my words, but it's things that I've read and even like he quotes about. Like I think it's very important, and I feel like when you fall, you need to fall on your chest.
Okay.
So that you're gonna use your arms you know. Because when you fall on your back, it's very hard unless someone comes and and no one is there to help you besides yourself. No one is going to help you change, besides yourself. When the environment be conducive for running a change, but if I'm correct, if you want to change, then it's useless. So we're financial.
You're excellent. No, thanks, brother. Yeah, no, man. I'm grateful of this conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you had the courage to come. Because you left a comment. And then that's when we had the conversation.
Yeah, that's when it started.
Yeah. So it was brave. I'm like, hey, it's happening there. So yeah, this is what I like, about people who are telling their own stories. Because now you're not talking about it from, you don't have an outside view.
Yeah.
It's your own journey, and only you understand it. Yeah. You decide what to share that is comfortable. So yeah, if you wanna come share your story, you are welcome. Come through. This is top shelf material, and the whole idea of top shelf is that it's top shelf quality. It's not something that you come across daily, every hour. Yeah. No, it's one of those things that are rare to find. Those conversations that take time. I mean, even now, you didn't get to the depths and the depths of it. So it's just easy conversations. Top shelf stories, top shelf talks, top shelf radio. Thursdays 8 to 9. I'm gonna leave on my bio the details on where to find us on the radio. From my side, until next time, peace.
Surely.